News before you go this morning. A new candidate has announced a run for the Nebraska legislature. Nate Osdek, a registered Democrat, is running for Legislative District 6. The seat is currently held by Senator Michaela Cavanaugh, who will be term limited in 2026.
Also breaking this morning, Omaha fire crews making quick work of a detached garage fire overnight. This happened near 33rd and H at around midnight. This is a closer look at the scene. Thankfully, no injuries to report. Damage, though, estimated to be at $62,000. No word yet on the cause of this fire.
And breaking here at the alert desk, Nepal's prime minister has resigned. This after more than a dozen people were killed and hundreds hurt during youth-led protests. AP News says those were sparked by a government ban on social media platforms, widespread corruption, and poor economic opportunities. In a letter, the former prime minister cited the extraordinary situation in the country for his resignation. These latest protests are Nepal's worst unrest in decades. Protesters are taking to the streets again as we speak. Aaron.
Marie Cage, thank you. More top stories now. The Nebraska Medical Cannabis Commission held an emergency meeting after Governor Jim Pillen pushed back against emergency regulations they approved last week. The state needs to get the system up and running by October 1st.
The couple arrested in connection to a deadly stabbing at an Omaha laundromat appeared in court. Kayla Griffin waived her right for a preliminary hearing. Her bond was set at $500,000. Deshaun Griffin is being held on no bond.
Governor Jim Pillen ending his trade mission in Japan today. According to the governor's office, he held high-level meetings with Japanese governors and defense ministers. Pillen also spoke at a conference in Tokyo.
Repair work is set to begin on that massive sinkhole near 16th and Farnham. City crews expect 17th between Farnham and Harney to close for 3 to 4 weeks. Repairs are expected to last through the end of the year.
Members of the Creighton men's basketball team will visit with kids at the Boys Town Residential Treatment Center today, as well as members of the Boys Town football team. The Jays will even partake in a three-point contest.
Also today, the Nebraska Community Blood Bank is teaming up with Nebraska Medicine in honor of Sickle Cell Awareness Month. A blood drive will be held from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. at Nebraska Medicine Stores Pavilion.